These are 3 vintage Sotheby's of London auction catalogs. They're all from the early 80s, 1981, 83, and I think in 82 is the other. And these are for Chinese decorative arts, which is a kind of a hot topic nowadays in the kind of high-end auction market. Chinese stuff is fetching really good prices. So these have some desirability, and they have basically all the lots that were up for auction, as well as some black and white plates and color plates occasionally, and the kind of estimated values that things were expected to get at these auctions. And I found these in the trash. Somebody had put a bunch of Sotheby's auction catalogs and also Park Burnett and some other kind of high-end auction catalogs in boxes out in the trash after a yard sale. They were trying to sell them, and I guess they didn't sell. I was driving through at just the right time, and I loaded up my car. They had a whole bunch of awesome things that I picked up. I've made some good money on it so far, and I'm continuing to sell it. So I put this up, I put some of these up, I put one of these up about a couple weeks ago, and it sold right away, and I think I just put it up for around $20, and I was a bit suspicious that I might have underpriced it. So I put these 3 up as a lot. I did it as an auction. I listed at $149.95, which is basically what I was hoping to get if I did kind of buy now, best offer. And somebody came in and bid on it in the last minute, and they bought it for that price, about $150. And these are going off to Hong Kong via some sort of US-based shipping forwarding company. So just made $150 out of somebody's trash. Can't complain about that. If you've been following my videos for a while, you know I love old crocks and primitives. And this here is a fairly large 5-quart crock. It's not terribly exciting, but it is old, and it's probably from the late 1800s, 1880s maybe, given its shape. No maker's mark, just got stamped with 5. It's glazed on the inside. Very tall. Unusually tall. This is about 12 inches tall, about 9 inches across. And this here I picked up at an auction. It was just on the table with a bunch of other stuff, and I don't think I paid much for a bunch of things that night that this came along with. I think I probably paid about $10 to $15. I wasn't terribly excited by the crock because I like to get ones that fetch a little bit more, but I put this one up for $130, and I took a best offer of $90 on it. And then they also paid $46.85 to ship this to Illinois. It might come out a little bit less than that, I'm not sure. It requires a lot of padding, and because it's about 12 inches, I need a box probably about 18 inches to give it enough space. Not looking forward to packing this up. It's Friday, and I was hoping for an easy day, but off it goes. This is a New York Police Department tie bar. This slides onto a tie to keep it in place, and this came in the NYPD lot that I'm currently selling through. You might have seen some other items in some of my other videos that I've recently listed. Just put this up a couple days ago. There's not too many of these out there, but the prices seem to be around $8 to $10. I put this one up for $13, and it sold pretty much right away. So I have a couple more of these, so I'm going to try listing them at a little bit of a higher price. This one here was kind of the worst one in the lot. It's got a little bit more kind of deterioration there. It doesn't look quite as good as the other two. So I'm going to try listing the other two at a bit higher price and see if I can get more for them. I come across a lot of patches at auctions, and I tend to buy them if I get them at a good price. They are easy to list and easy to ship, and they kind of fill in the sales gap. And every once in a while you get one that is worth something, and this one here is not one of those. This one here just sold for $10. It's from a athletic association, amateur sports. I can't remember what the letters stand for, but this one here came in that NYPD tray lot that I got, so I think it's kind of a vintagey patch. I was hoping it would be worth more. It's definitely kind of a cool style, but $10. This is a discontinued but also expired kind of cosmetic product or health and beauty product. And I put this up on Amazon. I put these up on eBay, and I had 2 of them, and one of them sold. And then a few days later, I got an item ended email from eBay telling me that they took down the item because it was expired, and I'm not allowed to sell expired products. That's news to me because I have sold expired and past date products on eBay before without any problem. So just a word of warning to anybody who's trying to sell expired products. It seems like eBay is no longer the place. Anyhow, this one here sold for $14. So I'm finally getting around to listing some more of this Wedgwood. This is the turquoise Florentine pattern. And this is a very popular pattern. It's pretty well sought after. I really like it a lot. I would keep it if it was a complete set. But I'm just parting it out. I bought a lot of this at auction for around $200. And it's about 70 to 90 pieces. I can't quite remember. But I just put up these teacups last week. I put up 4 of them, selling them individually. And someone came in and bought 2 of them for $30 a piece. This is a vintage Canon camera retail kind of Dior display thingy. So you put this on a shelf, put your camera on it or your lens that you're selling, and there's a little area back here for putting a little tag or card telling you what that particular thing is. So just an interesting thing. I got this at the camera auction. It was a retail camera store that was being liquidated at my local auction house, and I bought a bunch of stuff there for very cheap. A couple tables. And I have a ton of this kind of stuff, and this here sold for $22.95, and it's going off to the UK. Interestingly enough, most of these stands that I got went off to Europe, so apparently they're popular there, not as popular here. 2 more Wedgwood teacups sold. These are the Florentine pattern I've shown before. The other ones just sold about a couple days ago, and I only put them on last week. So my price was a little bit low. I put these up for $30 each, and I only had 4 of them. There was 2 others, but they were cracked. But I'm just looking to kind of get rid of some inventory, get things out quick, so I could have put a higher price and waited a few months or waited a year or whatever it takes to sell, but just hoping to get some of my cash back and then start going off to the auctions again this spring. First item that sold, this here is a genuine Canon kind of car adapter charger kit thing. So it takes 2 batteries and it's got a car plug so you can charge your Canon batteries in the car. And this here, it's kind of an older product for a kind of an older camera. The original price on this was $180. It's faded out there. This I got at the camera auction, retail camera store that was being liquidated. Got a bunch of stuff there. I've talked about it before. I won't go into it. But this here sold for $45. This is a U.S. Army pin. I called it a qualification badge, but I think somebody contacted me and told me it was something else. I can't quite remember what they called it. I only got $10 for this, so I never went in and changed it. I've sold plenty of these under that name, and it's been fine. It's got a couple of things that kind of hang down. One for a rifle, one for a grenade. I guess those are skills. And this here I got from a estate sale from a big box of military related stuff. It was mostly modern, kind of from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And I paid $50 for that, and I've been selling it ever since for the last 3 years or so, and made my money back many, many times, and I just continue to sell pieces and list them when I have time. I buy sterling silver dinnerware at the auction and if I can get a good price on it, and oftentimes this stuff will sell at just below the spot value, but if it's a popular pattern, the actual intrinsic value is a bit more. So this here is a pattern called Fairfax, which is a very popular pattern and people are looking for. It's by Gorham. This comes in both a monogrammed and a non-monogrammed, and of course the people are looking for the non-monogrammed ones unless they actually have those initials in their names. This is a non-monogrammed. This is a salad fork, and I think I paid about $160 or maybe $260. I can't remember the actual value now that I paid for it, but it was about 90 to 100 pieces of this Gorham Fairfax pattern. And then I just list them individually. Usually the servers and the bigger pieces go for a lot, and then the forks, knives, spoons, those kind of things typically get anywhere between $20 and $60 a piece, depending on kind of the size and weight. So this here fetched $28.95. So another serving piece sold from that Wedgwood turquoise Florentine pattern. And this piece here I had up for $149, and they came in and paid full price. I'm not sure if I had best offer. But this was from a large set that I bought of about 70 pieces or so at auction, and I think I paid around $200, maybe a little bit more than $200 for it after all the auction fees. And so far I have sold 4 different lots. So let's do the math on this and see where I'm at. So I had 4 teacups I put up for $30 each, and those all 4 sold for $120. This piece here sold for $149. And then I sold one small piece for $17 and another piece for $109. So we're at $395, not including eBay auction fees. And say I paid about $220 for this lot. I'm at about $175, and I've only sold about 9 pieces or so out of a total of 70. So I have a lot more pieces to list and sell. Granted, they are mainly dinner plates and salad plates and other things that might be a little bit harder to sell than teacups and serving dishes, but I find parting out kind of choice sets of Wedgwood and other china tends to do pretty well if it's a very valuable pattern like this one here, the Wedgwood Florentine. A lot of people are looking for it. This is some totally obscure kind of extension tube for some camera. I'm not sure which camera. It's obviously made in Germany, and got this in a lot of camera stuff. It was a big box full of a whole bunch of old SLRs like Pentax and Canon. Nikon, the old film cameras, and they're all pretty beat. I've listed a bunch of them up, and some of them sold on Bonanza for like 20 bucks. Not a ton of money in them, but I paid about $2 for this whole box of stuff at a walk-around auction. This piece here, I just thought somebody might want this someday. I don't know what it is exactly. And I put it up for 20 bucks, and somebody came in and bought it. And they have a eBay username, I forget what it was, but it seemed to indicate that they were definitely into vintage camera stuff.